Hello everyone, welcome to episode 22 of Show For You, where today we'll be going over chapter 31 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Now, I've been honestly a big fan of 2 Blue Vortex. I do not get the hate. I think the original Boruto series keeps people away from reading 2 Blue Vortex. 2 Blue Vortex is so good in my opinion. I love 2 Blue Vortex. And there's just some peak aura moments, especially with Boruto. Boruto gains unlimited aura after the time skip. If you didn't like the original Boruto, I highly recommend giving Boruto 2 Blue Vortex a shot. I'm just gonna call it TVV from now on. But so this chapter starts off with we see Inojin in Kobu's body after the mind transfer jutsu that had happened the previous chapter to lure him away, because they were trying to dispose of him. And they've lured the Mamushi clones, the tree spawn dudes, have came, and they're trying to attack Mamushi. And Inojin is talking with Kochi Kashin, and he's like, "No, I want to let him live. We can't let him die. If I'm a shinobi of any worth, I can overcome these circumstances." Honestly, I don't agree with Inojin here. I agree with Kochi, because Kochi's like, "Bro needs to die." And Kobu is an op. He's directly being antithetical to the purpose, drive, and survival of the hidden village of the Leaf at the moment, because he's trying to interrogate Shikamaru and take him out of the game, essentially, which is detrimental. But we see that, and eventually he does end up breaking the mind transfer jutsu and returning back to performing comms and all that, so everyone can communicate. And then we end up seeing Delta and Sarada. They are fighting a lot of Mamushi, because when Mamushi duplicates, he loses intelligence per clone. And this has led to a bunch of them acting stupid, fighting each other. One of them lights the other one ablaze. And so Sarada and Delta have to take care of this to keep the villagers from dying or getting in the crossfire. And so we see Sarada end up using her Mangekyo Sharingan and her ability with it, Ohirume. And it is sick as per usual, because bro can just make black holes, essentially a more overpowered Mangekyo Sharingan than Obito. But, I guess it's kind of debatable for the moment, but honestly, Ohirume is probably going to be absolutely beefy by the end of 2 Blue Vortex. But one cool thing we see is the bleeding of the eye, and we see a blurry image of Delta after she's used it. So I'm really wondering if there's a possibility of Sarada going blind in 2 Blue Vortex if Sasuke isn't saved fast enough, because she hasn't, as far as I know, and I believe it's never been discussed, she doesn't know about Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. So I don't think she knows the downsides of Mangekyo Sharingan. But I guess Sasuke might have told her. I know he discussed it briefly with her at the end of the original Boruto, but I don't know if he told her the downsides. So I guess there is the possibility of her going blind if Sasuke isn't saved to tell her about her ability and all that, because she hasn't used it a lot. But we see her use Ohirume, and it's really cool. But then after that, we end up going back to Shikamaru inside. They're kind of talking, and Shikamaru ultimately reveals the cahoots, everything that's going on, and how they're technically on a secret mission dealing with Boruto. And then we briefly see as Ada is discussing how she doesn't want to use her Senrigan again, because Mamushi was able to see her while she was using it, and she knows that if she uses it again, that Mamushi will be able to see where she is. And then we ultimately end up going back to Kobu, and Kobu's on the roof, and he's back in his normal body, and the Mamushi are about to attack him. So we see him, he's about to die. He's lit ablaze by one of the Mamushi, but Boruto comes flying in, saves Kobu, and uses his karma to absorb the flames on Kobu, so Kobu is saved. And Kobu's like, "You might have saved me, but you're still going to pay for all this tomfoolery that Shikamaru's been doing." He wasn't talking to Boruto. He's talking to Shikamaru. He's like, "This investigation ain't over. You're still going to suffer for this," even though they're in the middle of a crisis and he got his butt saved. But, we see that, and we see Kochi being an absolute goat, because Boruto's like, "Did you expect me to come in here and save him?" And he was like, "Nah, man, I just wanted him to die." Because, Kobu needs to die. Kobu is an op. But I agree with Kochi, but Boruto ended up saving him. And then they end up coming with the plan, because, then it's revealed to Shikamaru that the mob is going, because they're back in communication, and Sarada and Delta reveal, and Team 10 reveal to Shikamaru that, everything's going down, the Mamushi are getting stupid, and they're fighting each other and causing chaos. And so Shikamaru's like, "Oh, wait, hold up here. They all want Ada, so why don't we just lure them all to Ada and obliterate them there? So that is the plan. So that's probably what we'll be seeing next chapter, because Ada is now going to be targeted for the Mamushi. They're going to reveal the location to her. They're going to lead them there, and then they're going to obliterate all the Mamushi if they can. So yeah, that was a really good chapter. It was 41 pages in total, and it's a little bit less than usual, because I think they're about 50 pages, but honestly, it was peak. I really enjoyed it. The thing that sucks is it got 27-day wait until the next chapter, but hey, it's good. I can't really complain. But yeah, that is all for episode 22 of Shelf Review, and all for chapter 31 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. So thank you very much for watching.